have to do to sort of get that going?
Yeah, I think getting a little bit healthier up front helps. Just being off a week and getting these guys feeling better up front to where we can get back to running off the football, creating a little bit more movement up front, and just creating a little bit more of an advantage through maybe different, you go run zone, gap, different variations can help as well. But just getting back to running off the football a little bit more violence, and it all ties in, right? Like the back, we had a good conversation this morning in our run game meeting, understanding the intent of the runs, where is it supposed to hit. Everybody's got a job in the run game. It does take all 11, but you watch the self-scout throughout the games that we really ran it best, everything was tied in, right? And it's not going to always be perfect in the run game, but if you're coming off the ball, you're playing physically, your backs are hitting the holes the right way, and you're calling it more and calling it at more opportune times, the run game typically has more success.
To that point, in terms of health of the offensive line, but also, is that kind of what you've deduced? They just needed a week to get healthy, or did you feel like changes potentially needed to be made to really get that line going?
Oh, no, I didn't. Changes were not really necessary, I don't think. It was just getting a couple guys feeling a little bit better, right? When you got nicks, whether it's at multiple spots on your body or whatever it is, you don't feel great. And, I think a lot of it has to do with just getting back to balance, right? Like I've talked about that a lot, is anytime you're balanced, you typically have an advantage to the opponent, where they don't know it's a typical run down when you're calling it, or it's a known pass down, you're calling a run, it's a known run down, you're calling a pass. Just mixing that up, having a better feel for it, how we're running it. All right, this run scheme's maybe not doing what we thought it might. We have to adjust to maybe doing this, or hey, it's just we didn't block that well on this specific play. Run it again. We got it. We'll be okay. We can fix it. So kind of a combination of those things.
How advanced is Bowers for a second-year player in terms of how he gets open?
I had a lot of experience with him in the SEC at Kentucky. Played against him multiple times. Thought he was extremely advanced at that time. And then, for a second-year player to he gets in and out of breaks so well. I know he was like 40-something inch vertical coming out of high school. He's a very good athlete. He's like what you define as a football player. I mean, he just has a knack for getting open. He's harder to tackle than maybe just looking at the tape. Like he'll break tackles, drag people down. He knows how to wiggle and separate, and also the contested catch ability. So, very good player. Have a lot of respect for him.
Where do you think Brian Thomas's head is after sort of the struggles of the first 6 weeks?
I think you're continuing to try to, any player that is maybe not done as much as they'd want to, all as a player and as a coach is to just keep pushing through it. That there's going to be a breakthrough at some point here to just connect and doing it. And you watch games from last year, because obviously you're watching the Raiders from last year and you're watching big plays being made. And all right, man, like just it has to go happen as much as it can in practice, but also, in the game, it's got to come to life for that connection to truly go the way that it needs to go. So, it takes work, it takes patience, it takes time, and you're just hopeful that it's going to be able to come to life here.
As a play caller, do you have to guard against trying to force it to all of a sudden come together?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely, that's always a balance as a play caller, where you want to get something going, for not just the individual, but for the group, right? It's to be able to create explosives by throwing the football. That's definitely something you have to think through, but it's not really something that I'm, as a play caller sitting there like, man, we just can't. I mean, I threw it 40-something times in the last 2 games. If I lost confidence in the pass game, I probably wouldn't have done that. So, we still have a lot of confidence.
You talked about Jordan Lewis a lot since you've been here, but just how big of a leader is he for this team?
Yeah, I had a lot of conversations with Jordan over the last week. he just gets it. Like he does just get how to be a pro, how the preparation truly matters. Not trying to maybe play hero ball or do anything outside of the scheme necessarily. Man, just go do your job. He communicates at a high level. He just great dude. Great dude that has battled his way. Like he was talking about, man, they tried to outdraft me, bring people in every year to take your spot in this league, and the ebbs and flows and the highs and lows within a career, within a season. He's got very good presence about him. So, really need his leadership as we continue to go, as well as the other guys.
What stands out about? Go ahead.
Is the expectation still base downs? Jordan's pretty much a 3-down guy. He's going to the outside. He can play the nickel inside, or do you want to see more from Newsome, maybe more from Travis in the weeks ahead?
Yeah, I think we're kind of exploring that this week, is looking at, where we can put these guys in a position to take advantage of their skill sets, maybe take some off some guys. So that's something I can't, I don't want to give away too much. So that's something we're definitely evaluating throughout the week.
What stands out about Max Crosby's game?
Yeah, he's a creature for sure. Just the strain, the relentless effort, the batted balls. I mean, they lead the National Football League right now in tip balls as a defense, as a group. He's so long. He's so long that initially, like if your eyes as a quarterback are maybe at your number one read right away, and it's like quick game or whatever it is, he does a great job of getting his hands on balls. And then if it is a little bit of a longer developing pass play, well, that's when you just kind of see him relentlessly strain. And, he's just so long in terms of his legs, the bounding, his ability to get to the quarterback. And then the way he's played the run. They've played the run well as a defense all year as well. So somebody we're definitely aware of.
With this Raider defense, do you see a lot of Pete's influence that you faced in Seattle?
Some. I've got a lot of respect for Patrick Graham as a went against them last year. We jumped out early, and then they got a couple takeaways, created some pressure on us. He does a nice job of mixing in, the zone, the zeros, the pressures. You can definitely see a little bit more with Jamal Adams in there, and Chin a little bit more zone, and kind of playing Jamal a little bit more at that big nickel position, whether it's in 12, 11, or 13. So they're very balanced in the way that they try to attack you. And I know, I have a lot of respect for Coach Carroll as well in terms of defensively as a leader in general, but you can see the combination of Coach Carroll and Coach Graham's influence on that defense.
What makes some coaches and teams really good coming off the ladder?
It's a great question. Something I was talking to Trevor about is like, I think maybe the teams that maybe identify, I guess you could say, an issue, right? Issue or somewhere where you're underperforming / where what you're doing well, and either coming into this week, right, of your next game, addressing those tangibly. Like, all right, we want to improve in this area. Well, if you just say it, might not get done. You usually, from players, you get what you emphasize very, very often. And so if there's areas where you're trying to show and improve, not just talking about it or getting the stats and showing it, well, going out, addressing it in the meeting, showing the examples, but then applying it to practice, applying it to the walkthroughs of, okay, guys, these are the tangible areas where we need to improve and what we want to improve upon, and actually go attack it. I think maybe those are some ways where you can look at people having success off of the bye is, are you addressing those areas tangibly with the way that you prepare, the way that you practice, and then obviously trying to go execute those things in a game.
Chip Kelly's history with Mark Whipple, just how's that kind of had an influence on how you learn the game and how you kind of structured your offense?
A lot. He was one of the first guys to offer me a scholarship. Chip Kelly was. Mark Whipple was the first. Then Chip was second at New Hampshire, and those were our rival. UMass and New Hampshire was a rivalry. Played against Coach Kelly multiple times when he was the offensive coordinator at New Hampshire, and they were doing stuff that, you know, not a lot of people were doing in our conference and around the country. Fast forward a year, he goes from New Hampshire OC to Oregon, and the Northeast is like, wait, what? You know, not because you didn't expect it. It was just, it hadn't really happened, that jump before, and it was very well deserved. So, so much respect for Chip and we talked a ton last year. We've always stayed in close contact over the years. And you could just see the creativity, the ability to try to get the ball in playmakers' hands. Like, they're trying to find their way as an offense, a new offense with new playmakers, just as we are in a lot of ways. And but I, you know, fully expect them to have a good plan of attack coming off the bye.
Devin was the Salute Service nominee. Can you just talk about getting to know him as a player and what he's kind of meant to the team?
Yeah, Devin, a little bit more on the quieter side early, getting to know him, and then you talk to him and you hear a very mature dude, and just he had specific goals that he wanted to you know, accomplish this season, and I thought he attacked it in the exact right way. Like, you look at the offseason program, wanting to get faster, a little bit more athletic, be a little bit more dynamic. I thought he attacked it the right way. He came in training camp. We had multiple conversations with him, and just, this is what I expect. These are my expectations for myself as a player and how I can help this defense and this team. And that's what it's been the entire time that I've gotten to know Devin. He's obviously made a ton of huge plays for us this season, and have a lot of respect for the player and person.
Bowers has missed so much time. Is it a challenge to figure out how they want to utilize him? Because they're probably going to face him, but not a lot of film on this particular version of the Raiders.
Yeah, I think you look at, obviously, years, maybe last year as well, and then early in the season. I mean, the first play of the season against the Patriots, they got him the ball on the very first play of the entire season. So you know that you know, when he's healthy and available, he's somebody that they definitely want to get the ball in his hands. And so as you go throughout the work week and you see, all right, where's 89? Like, we've got to make sure we understand where he is, because he's in the hip at tight end. He's in an inline stance. He's in the slot. He's out at 1. They definitely want to move him around as the weapon that he is. So I think I don't want to say over-prepare, but definitely more on the side of they're going to want to get him going than not.
League came out Friday, and the NFLPA reminding everybody about the gambling policy.
Yeah.
You guys are going to Vegas this week. How much time have you spent this week reminding them that here are the rules?
Oh, yeah. That was Monday, and we will readdress on Friday in the team meetings. That is, I know, something that we're all taking seriously. This is a business trip. We should have absolutely zero issues with that, but I understand and appreciate the you know, seriousness of it all. I mean, it's real. It's happening in our world. Obviously the fantasy, the betting, and all that. It's a big deal in our world, and so we addressed it on Monday. We'll address it again before we leave. That, guys, we're going a little bit earlier in the morning, Saturday morning, obviously with Florida, Georgia coming up this weekend. So we're getting out there earlier. We'll be practicing at a local school. But when we do get back to that hotel, guys, we're all business here.
Is it no casino, no sports book, nothing?
At all.
Nothing, okay.
At all. Don't even go have dinner in there, guys. Like, let's just stay away. We got great food in our area here. Let's just stay away from all that.
Good.
Thank you, guys. Sorry for